Okay, everyone's a bit slow today, so I guess we'll keep waiting. Okay, so you guys can start off by opening your homework. Everyone is a bit slow today, so once again, we're gonna have to, yeah, we're just gonna go over the homework for now. Yeah, so let's say two assigned, they're missing, and we have for people who did the homework. Got it. Very nice. For some reason, I cannot grade me life on Google Classroom and my life. Yeah, it always doesn't let me. So I'll try to figure that out. It's like every time I try to turn it in, it just doesn't let me. It's really weird. See if I can figure. Yeah, it's always like, please try again, and I try again, and it doesn't work. So I'm gonna add a comment and see if that helps. Nope, just won't let me give a grade. It's quite annoying, but it is what it is. Yeah, like I'm trying to give him a 10 out of 10, but it's not really letting me. So on the practice 4A, everyone did fine. Review B, looks like everyone did fine as well. And the workbook, okay, nothing to compare it to, so I can't really tell, but the workbook looks fine as well. So last time we ended off with review B. So we're gonna pick up right after that to begin with. Okay, let's see where that is. Review B, review B. Okay, so we did graphs last week and we did review B. Now did we do triangles? I think we did. Yeah, we did triangles. Yeah, we finished on isosceles and equilateral. Yep, so this time I think I said that we would be starting four-sided figures. All right. So I don't think there's enough. Not sure if there's many people. So we're going to start off by doing four-sided figures. There are a few types of four-sided. There are many types of four-sided figures, actually. We're just going to be learning about a few. So we are only going to be going over a select few. We're going to be going over parallelograms. Yeah, parallelograms, rhombuses, and trapezoids. So what are the characteristics of each one of them? A parallelogram has two pairs of parallel sides. For example, and so I'm going to show which ones are parallelograms by putting a P on them. This is a parallelogram. This is a parallelogram. This is a parallelogram. This is a parallelogram. C and F are not parallelograms because this line and this line, a pair, is not parallel. So, and second of all, for F, these two lines aren't parallel. Now, what is a rhombus? A rhombus is a so all of these are four-sided shapes. A rhombus has all equal sides. It should also be noted that every single rhombus is also a parallelogram because of just how it works out. Hello, Alex. Oh, Anne joined as well. I think Anne might be a new student. No, wait, never mind. I'm not sure who Anne is. Because I do have a new student in one of my classes. Like they just popped in and they didn't join the meeting either. It's just like they exist and they did the homework and all, but it's very confusing. But yeah. Wait, who is Anne? Let me think. Because we have Alan and Alex. And then we have Claire. Okay. Wait. Let me check something. Hold on for 1 minute. I just want to quickly see something. 1 moment. Want to check something. Interesting, very interesting. Okay, so we're just gonna continue for now. So a rhombus is always a parallelogram. So now we're gonna mark rhombuses. This is a rhombus, and this is a rhombus. So notice how every single place I put an R also had a P already, because all rhombuses are parallelograms. Now, our last type is a trapezoid. A trapezoid has one pair. I'll scroll this down a bit so you can see. One pair of parallel sides. And here we have two trapezoids. C is a trapezoid and F is a trapezoid because they both have one pair of parallel lines. Not two, only one. So along with this, we also have rectangles and squares, which you already know about. A rectangle is a parallelogram, and it also has 90-degree angles. So we're going to call a rectangle a parallelogram with 90-degree angles. Not right now angles. I won't use the angle symbol. This might be a bit too complicated for now. And lastly, we have a square. A square is a rectangle plus a rhombus. So it's a combination of both, which means that it's a parallelogram. It has 90-degree angles, and all the sides are equal. So we are going to start off with some pretty basic questions. Actually, this might be a bit too much. Let me see if I can find some properties here. All right, so I'm going to start off with this, and I'll go over the answers for it. So find the unknown marked angle in each rhombus. Well, I'm going to first explain a few things about rhombuses. Number one, first of all, rhombuses, we already know what these are. These are parallelograms with all equal sides, or just okay. The raw definition, the definition is technically just any side with 4 equal sides, any shape with 4 equal sides. However, there are always parallelograms in geometry that we are doing. So, if this is 60 degrees in a rhombus, the opposite side is the opposite angle is always the exact same amount. So this is 60 degrees. And for sides that are consecutive, which means they're like next to each other, not sides, angles that are consecutive, they're actually the everyone minus 180. We can actually see this. This angle Y right here can fit right here. And this would be 180. So you'll notice that if we chopped up this rhombus, if we like took this entire piece right here, we could move it to here, right? We could move it to here, and then we would get like a little shape like this. So this angle equals 50 degrees because 130 and 50 sum to 180. Also, a diagonal in a rhombus, you don't have to memorize any of this. It's more of like stuff to keep in the back of your mind, and we might use it later. So It'll kind of pop up later, and over time you'll figure out this intuitively. Like you don't even have to memorize it because if you think about it, it just makes sense at a certain point. So diagonals are in lines that connect two corners together, two vertices, and they can't be adjacent. For example, this isn't a diagonal because that's just the side. So this is a diagonal and this is a diagonal. In a rhombus, a diagonal always cuts the angle in half. So if this angle was 110 and we drew a diagonal, it would be cut in half to 55 and 55. This holds true for the other side. We already established that opposite sides right here. We established that I keep saying sides. Opposite angles in a rhombus are the same. So that means that if this is 110, this is also 110. And a diagonal in a rhombus cuts the angle in half. So both are 55. So our answers are 60, 50, and 55. Now, we are going to move on to the next thing. I think we can skip that trapezoid one for now. Oh, yeah, we're probably going to skip that for now. These are drawing things which are kind of pointless. Okay, honestly, that was the entire chapter, huh? All right. I think there might be a few more. I think there's more questions in the workbook, so I think we'll head on to that in a second. Yeah, because I don't want to move straight on to tessellation, so I'll try to find some problems quickly. Give me a minute. If we pass tessellations. Look at a volume after. Okay, that's inconvenient. See if I can find any Rhombus questions here. Triangles we finished last time. Let's see what the homework was. All right, this is good. This is going to be in the workbook. All right, I'm sending the first batch of questions. You can send your answers in chat when you solve them. Just keep in mind they are all parallelograms, which means their opposite sides are parallel. We can figure some things out because of that. I'm just going to tell you some principles, some facts to keep in mind. So first of all, opposite angles are congruent, which means they're equal. Number two, consecutive. Actually, everything that we said about rhombuses applies to parallelograms, except for the equal sides part. So opposite angles are congruent, consecutive angles add to 180. And last but not least, diagonals cut an angle in half. So if an angle is 90 degrees, the diagonal will cut it into 45 and 45. Oops. And so A, B, C, and D, send the answers in chat when you solve them. All right, just waiting for like one or two more answers. I don't know how. Oh wait, I made a slight mistake. I made a slight mistake. The last thing that I said is not actually true. The reason I put it there is because like I put the rhombus rules because I just copied them down because that's what we did for the previous section. That's totally my bad. The answer to the last question is 20, as some people figured out, because consecutive angles add to 180, and you can apply that there. It's my bad. I apologize. The second question, remember they are not the same. They add to 180. So yeah, there's only two rules for parallelograms. Well, there are more rules, but those are the only rules to do with angles. Yeah, so I'll wait for, I think, one more answer. Yeah, one more answer, and then I'll move on to the next set of questions. Okay, so I'll send the next batch of questions actually just for you guys. And it'll be a bit small because some people I think are still working on the previous section, but I'll try to squeeze it in there. Hopefully you guys can see this. If it's too small, send me a message in chat. All right, yeah. So yeah, you guys can start working on the second set if you're on that. Make sure, guys, to send your answers straight to me, not to anyone else, just to me. Okay, so we are now going to move to the next spot. These are similar questions to above. However, actually, wait. My bad. There's still one more person. Yeah, one more person. And after I see that final answer, I'll give them like a minute because, yeah, okay. 55, 55, 110, 110. All right, yeah. So in 1 second, I will post, not 1 second, but in a moment, I'll post the next set. I'm going to repeat it one more time. Do not send your answers to anyone else, just me, all right? I'm going to post the next set as well. Keep in mind, these are rhombuses. And because they are rhombuses, there are a few more things we have to keep in mind. And by a few more things, I kind of just mean one thing. So when we are considering rhombuses, all we really have to remind ourselves is that, give me a sec, I want to make this look more natural. Okay, yeah, so we have all the rules from before, and those rules are that opposite angles are congruent and consecutive angles add to 180. We have a new rule, which is the one I added last time, the mistake, because I thought we were on this one. The new rule is that rhombuses have diagonals which cut the angles in half, which is also called bisecting. So that's a word that is helpful. Sect means to cut, and bisect means to cut into half. So here are 8 questions. You can send them in batches of 4 or in the entire batch of 8. That is up to you. So yeah, remember, we have a new trick now. So consecutive angles are 180. Opposite angles are equal, and diagonals cut something in half. All right, so we're doing pretty well with these so far. Yeah. We're gonna start trapezoids in a second, which are considerably more difficult. And after we do that, we're gonna go through tessellations pretty quickly, and then I think we can finish volume. We can't finish volume. We might be able to finish volume. Yeah, we can probably finish volume because we're only doing the very easy prisms, which are, easy. 140, 55, 60, 50. Okay. I'm actually so confused. I do not understand how. Wait, which question was it? There was one question which I think 2 people both messed up with in the exact same way. Yeah. Okay. So for F, I don't know how people are. Wait. Never mind. Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong question. That's my bad. Yep. So I'm going to wait for 1 just a tiny bit more, a few more answers, and then we're going to start trapezoids. Trapezoids are relatively easy. Yeah, so I'll wait for like a few more answers and then we'll move on to the next one. Yep. No, Alan, we're not going to do that. We are going to get to volume today, but after we finish 5B, then we're done. So you're taking both classes. So 6B is a bit behind. So like the 6th class is slightly behind the 5 class just because the 6th class is more difficult, so we spend longer on the subject. But yeah, so you're taking both at once, and we'll be done with both by March-ish, basically. We're gonna have both done. Oh, okay. All right. We are not going to be doing 6A and 6B. So Alex sent me a message asking no. We will not. I teach another class where I am doing 6A and 6B, and Alan is in that class. And that class is a bit more difficult, so we're taking our time with that. Singapore 6A and 6B, I don't know if I'm going to be teaching that like in the summer or something. We will see about that. But we are getting to volume today. And 5B, I think will probably be done by the end of February, maybe into March, because we'll be doing a lot of review just to make sure everyone like really comprehends what we're doing. But that's about it. So it looks like everyone's done with these because I got the last few answers in. So we're gonna go into trapezoids now. Trapezoids, it's trapezoids are a bit weird. So there's only one thing you actually have to remember for trapezoids, and that's that each pair of angles. We are gonna have class next week. I don't know, when's winter break? Does anyone know? Winter break, winter break's at the end of February. Yeah, we might not have class during winter break, but besides that, we're gonna have class on pretty much every day, every Saturday, that is. But yeah, so for trapezoids, all we have to remember is that each pair of angles between two parallel sides add to 180 degrees. So what does this mean? Well, we have to remember that a trapezoid only has one pair of parallel sides. A rhombus and a parallelogram both have two pairs, but a trapezoid only has one pair. You can tell which one's the pair because they'll have arrows. And these denote that this side and 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 this side are all parallel. So the arrows tell you which side's parallel. And pair of angles between two parallel sides add to 180. So no, we didn't actually pass winter break. Christmas break is what happens during December. Winter break is the break during February. I understand not all of you live where I live, so I might be wrong about like how the breaks work. But as far as I know, in the U.S., winter break is February, and then Christmas break is the December break. That's how it works for me, at least. Maybe you guys call it like, I don't know, February break or something. I don't know. But for me, winter break is February. So yeah, we might not have class during February break, during the break of February. But yeah, besides that, we're gonna have class. So back to this. A trapezoid, for example, here. If these two are the parallel sides, this angle and this angle do not add to 180. As you can tell, they obviously don't. They would like look something like that. So yeah, obviously not 180. However, why did I have a finger raise? These two angles add up to 180. And these two angles add up to 180. So it's basically angles that are between two parallel sides. Also keep in mind that in this trapezoid, for example, this angle here and this angle do not add up to 180. It's only consecutive angles. I should probably put that. I'll add a caret. Each pair of consecutive. So any pair of angles that's here and here. Actually, I'll put it this way. I'll use red. So either these two angles, or these two angles, or these two angles, or these two angles. So it has to be an angle that's next to it. And also keep in mind, it can only be angles that are on parallel sides. So for this trapezoid, it's only the red ones or the blue ones. These ones add up to 180. Blue and blue and red and red. So now if that information, try to solve these questions. The first question should be really easy because this is literally just a pair of consecutive angles. So these just add to 180. And question 2 is also easy. Question 3 gets a bit more difficult. Keep in mind, these two lines means that they're equal. So now that we're throwing isosceles triangles, remember we did that last week. Now that we're adding isosceles triangles, this can get a bit more complicated.
You're muted, so we didn't hear it.
I'm not talking right now. Yeah, I know I'm muted. You guys can start the questions. You can A, B, and C. Yeah, start sending me A, B, and C. Want everyone to make sure to get think very carefully about the last question. Think very carefully about it. No one person has gotten it correct so far. So if you just check over it, and if you think you have the correct answer, that's fine. If you think if you got a new answer, then send it to me. All right, be very careful about the last question. Very careful. I want you to think about first try to solve first I don't want you to solve the question. Pretend none of the numbers exist. And just think about how you would solve it if you did know the numbers. And then, plug in the numbers. I'm waiting for one more answer, and then I'll go over the answers. Okay, so I'll go over the last question. Everyone did fine on the first two. So for the last question, let's see. First of all, this is an isosceles triangle. What did we learn last week about isosceles triangles? Well, we learned that a isosceles triangle, if two sides are equal, that means the angles that they face are equal. So that means that this is 50 degrees. Why am I on blue? I changed it to black. Yeah, so this is 50 degrees down here. What does that mean? Well, we know this big angle is 72 degrees because 22 plus 50 equals 72. And we also know that each pair of consecutive angles between two parallel sides equals 180. We learned that down here, right? And so if this C plus 72 equals 180, that means C would be equal to 180 minus 72, which is 108. So the answer should be 108 for 6C. So there's kind of a trick here for trapezoid questions. You're just going to have to find two opposite sides, two opposite angles that happen to be consecutive between two parallel sides. And then sometimes you have to do a bit more math to do that, but eventually you're going to figure it out. So here are 8 more questions. Well, there's only 4, but I'll send 8 in a second. You can once again, you can send me this in batches of 4 or in a single batch of 8. This is in the workbook, by the way, if anyone wants to do it on paper, because I understand this might be a bit easier on paper. After this, we will do tessellations, and I don't know, we might start volume. I think we might push volume off to last class because we have the next class, because we have a ton of time. And I have a ton of workbook exercises that I think we could do. Yeah, I think we'll just finish tessellations today, and then we'll do a bunch of review. And by tessellations is short. It's like less than 5 minutes. It's not even math, honestly. All right, so I'm gonna start B because it looks like some people are having trouble in that. Once everyone gets through every question, I will go back over that. I think some people definitely might be rushing because I see a lot of wrong answers. Actually, I'm just gonna go over all of these. Yeah, because they're all pretty fast. Okay, so let's start off with A. This one's pretty easy. They just add the 180, we get 68. Number 2, these add up to 180. We already have 155. That means the last one is 25. I think. Give me a sec. Yeah, this one's 25. Yes. Next one. C goes with 84. Actually, I'll write which one I'm solving for. So X is 132, while C is 96. How do we solve the next one? Ooh, this one's interesting. So we can solve Y first. So there's 2 trapezoids for question D. So this one's a bit more difficult. There's actually 2 trapezoids. Using the big trapezoid, the bigger one, we can solve 25 plus 87 plus Y equals 180. That means that Y is equal to, I think 70, give me a minute. Yeah, 78. No. Yes, no. 112, 68, yeah, 68. And if we solve Y for 68, that means we can solve D for 112. For the next question, this one's pretty easy. E just equals 80. That's a very simple one. For the next question, we can actually solve all of these angles add up to 180. That means that F just equals 18. Nice and simple. For the next question, G plus 132 equals 180, so G equals 48. And, this is a Z, not an X. And question Z, give me a second. G equals, what did we solve it for? 58, was it? No, 48 it was. And then Z is simply alternate interior angles, so this is 59. This isn't actually a trapezoid question. This is the same as this because we already saw, we figured this out earlier from an earlier unit. I don't know why they're bringing it back up again. So yeah, we can use all the tricks that we have. For this last question, this also equals 62 because this is an isosceles. Notice these lines here, this is isosceles. If this is 62, this is also 62 because of alternate interior angles. We can also solve this by saying if this is 62 and it's on a line with this angle here must be 118, and then these two add to 180, so we get 62. So yeah, these should be your answers. Technically, there were not 8 questions. There were actually like 11, but yeah, this is how it goes. Now we are completely done with 4-sided things. Very interesting. Review 2 is going to be homework. I'll just write that down quickly. I'll post some more questions in 1 second. I just want to write this down for us. Okay, so tessellations, I'm really just going to show you. They're very self-explanatory. I don't even think they're really math. They're kind of just a neat visual pattern that you can notice. Yeah, so these are some tessellations. Just look at them for a while. I'm going to post some interesting tessellations. This is a tessellation of dogs. Notice how all the dogs, they're colored differently, but they're all the same shape. What else do I have? I have a octopus tessellation. I'm going to post a bunch of tessellations, honestly. There's a tessellation of octopi. This is a tessellation of a bunch of cats hugging each other. Notice how they're all very similar patterns. There's a tessellation of a bunch of giraffes, if you want to load. Giraffes, yes, a bunch of giraffes. Yeah, so there's a lot of very interesting tessellations. I'll post just a few more. And last but not least, we are going to post a, let's see, what other tessellations do I have? Oh, we got another octopus one, but this one's different. This one's a very interesting one. It's different from the previous one. Yeah, so these are just tessellations. Notice how all of them use a single shape. You might notice that here there's like a red, there's a yellow, there's a blue, there's a green, but ultimately they have the exact same shape. Sometimes they're flipped. Sometimes we flip them a bit, but they're all still the same. Yeah, so I don't really see a point in doing any problems on tessellations, honestly. They just exist, I guess. That's about it. I might have you guys start working on review 2. Give me 1 second. I will see if we want to do that. Yeah, like there's not really any tessellation questions I can give. Like tessellation questions exist, but they're kind of just like draw the shape that makes this tessellation, and that's kind of pointless. I'm not gonna lie. So I shall see what we are gonna work on. Just give me a moment. We've done these. I might give a few more triangle questions. That seems reasonable. Yeah, it seems like a good idea. But it's review 2 in the. Oh wait, review 2 might be in the textbook. Oops, I'll fix that quickly. Textbook. Sorry that this is taking so long. I can't really find any questions for you guys to work on, and I'm not sure if I want to assign the homework right away. So give me a few more seconds. I'll try to find something to work on. Yeah, review 2 looks good. And I don't want, you guys can't really do that, huh? We did these in class already. Honestly, I think I'll just assign review 2. There's nothing else to really assign. It's pretty annoying. All right, so you guys can just start working on your homework. I can't really find anything else to do. Oh, we're not going to do volume today because I don't want to start something that we can't finish. You guys can just work on review 2. It's a pretty short homework this week. Honestly, if you like the homework, if you work on it like starting now, you can probably finish it in like half an hour. All right, that'll be it for class. You guys can leave if you want. There's not really anything we're doing. Yeah. If you do colors, that's a different thing. You don't have to do colors. Totally optional. Yeah, you guys can all start the homework. Yep. You guys can start the homework. There's nothing else. That's it. I will see you guys next week. Any questions before I go?
No.
All right.